Today I'm going to be telling you the differences between the Boomstik and the Era, what makes each of these paddles unique, which one I use, and then which paddle is right for you. Let's get right into it. Let's first start with the Boomstik. So this paddle is very popular right now. There are a lot of people buying this paddle, and I think it's for a good reason. Previously you had other paddles that hit also pretty hard, and then the Boomstik came out, and this thing just hit way different than every single paddle, along with getting a ton of spin. And then also the weights on the sides make it just more balanced, and your swing just feels a lot easier. Now I did add some extra weight as well to mine, and that's just optional. I think the paddle by itself comes out really great, and out of the box it hits the exact same. There's no break-in period, which is super nice, and that's more rare for a paddle also. The handle length is perfect for me. This is also the paddle that I personally use. I did actually use the Era, but now I switched to this thing, and I've just been super happy with it. It did take me a bit to learn how to use it. The resets were a little bit tough at first, but it's just hard to beat the amount of pop that this thing gets. It's definitely like a Ferrari of a paddle. It's high performance, but maybe a little bit harder to get used to. So the paddle itself costs $333, which is pretty steep. That's definitely a lot more than any typical paddle. You also have to be a Labs member to buy it. So there's a small fee to be a Labs member, and then you can get the paddle. One thing that is super nice about it is that it has a lifetime warranty. So if anything were to happen, which it probably wouldn't because it's very high quality, you can send it back and you can get another one. So you can just have that free of mind knowing if something were to happen to it, it's gonna be okay and you'll get your money's worth. So as far as me personally playing with this paddle, it was a little bit tough for me to play games with, especially at higher levels. So playing games with some of my friends just for fun, it felt great and I felt confident. And then as soon as I played games that were a little more difficult, I didn't feel that confident with it, so I actually didn't use it for a while, even though I've had it now since it came out pretty much. So I actually avoided it for just a little bit, but as I drilled with it more and more, I got slightly more confident and just slowly started playing more games with it, and now it's my paddle of choice. So it may be that for you. Maybe you like a paddle that you currently use and it's great, but if you're looking to advance your game, maybe add some more spin, maybe add some more pop, I think that this is a great option. And it does hit really hard, but I think that you can always learn how to control pop, but you can never add more pop to a paddle. So anyways, that's my logic behind switching to this. Now moving on to the Era. This video is sponsored by Selkirk. Everything that I use is Selkirk, and both these paddles are Selkirk. I have a code, it's INFTB, and that gets you a gift card whenever you use it and you buy anything Selkirk related. Back to the video. This was actually my personal paddle of choice for a really long time. I got this before it even came out, so I got to hit with it for a long time. And I just remember the first time that I played with it, I really liked it and felt super confident with it. It was my favorite paddle that Selkirk has ever come out with by far. So it definitely plays very similar to a lot of the modern paddles that are out right now. And so I think that if you liked some of those, that you would like this a lot. I think that the quality is slightly better, and also it is a lower price than actually a lot of those modern paddles also, and it's probably the same or maybe a little better in my opinion. As far as price goes, this paddle is $200, and it's a lot cheaper than the Boomstik, of course. And so I think as far as the value that you get of this paddle is probably a lot better because you just don't spend as much money and it still performs at a very high level. Pros have used this, I've used this in all my tournaments, and I feel really confident with it. And although I have switched recently, I would still go back to this and probably play honestly really similar, maybe just the same, maybe it's just a feel thing. It gets really good touch. It's technically a power paddle, but I think every modern paddle is a power paddle anyways, and it gets really good spin, easy to customize. It looks really clean. There's a lot of color options for it. So I think the Era is just an overall really great paddle, and I think that a lot of people will definitely like it. If you've never tried it before, I think you would really like it. Now let's compare both of these paddles. So price, the Boomstik is $333 and the Era is $200. So a lot more expensive, a lot less expensive. This is probably the value paddle. This is the performance paddle. So if you are an advanced player and you're looking to upgrade your game, I'd say you buy the Boomstik. If you're kind of just starting to get good, I would get the Era. That's just my opinion. So now control, the Era is easier to control, the Boomstik is not. Spin, the Boomstik definitely gets more spin. They're both really similar, but it just gets slightly more. But the Era still gets plenty. Power, the Boomstik definitely hits a lot harder than the Era. I mean, not a crazy amount, but you can tell when you're playing with them that it hits harder. It's a lot harder to control again. As far as overall comfort of these paddles, I think the Era is just going to be a better option if you want a paddle that isn't too crazy out of the box. I think just getting this Era is going to be more comfortable than when you first try the Boomstik, especially if you're not a super advanced player and you're not used to a crazy amount of pop. So how do you know which paddle is right for you? If you are newer to the game, I think getting the Era is probably a better option. You're going to spend less money and it's a great paddle, and I think you'll be super happy with it. If you are more advanced and you've used paddles similar to the Era, or you already have the Era, I would get the Boomstik. I personally use the Boomstik. This is my paddle of choice right now because I've drilled with it for a while. It definitely took me a bit of time to get good with it, but I feel good with it now. It just takes maybe a little bit longer. Even for me as a 5.0 player, it still took a bit of time for me to feel fully confident with it. That's gonna wrap it up for this video. I will put some links down below if you want to check out these paddles, and also my code that you can use as well on them. But if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. I will answer. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was really helpful, all the information that I shared and the insights that I have on these paddles. But anyways, make sure that you subscribe and check out some of my other videos.